Okay. And let's get one more for the evening, and just really hope that it's something good. Tonic trouble. Well, not good, but it should at least be probably short, so yeah, sure, why not? Alright. So a Game Boy Color tie-in to an N64 game. Sort of a hidden gem N64 game, with, you know, gem being debatable. Credits in the options menu. Not even Ubisoft was above that at the time. Wow. And that would be the thing that you do with the Game Boy Color, which is, using the frickin' infrared thing to pass information. Yeah, that'd be, you know, how the Game Boy Color had that little infrared sensor on the top of it that you would, line up with another Game Boy's infrared sensor, and it would pass information between the two. You know, without need for a link cable. And this was used on a very tiny handful of games, because passing information between two, you know, devices with an infrared sensor is a terrible way of passing information. And yeah, it mostly didn't work. Ed the Extraterrestrial dropped a toxic can on Earth, and everything's in a real mess now. His mission, to get the can back as fast as possible. Well then. Oh, text that I missed entirely. Oh well. Also, it seems that Ubisoft had a thing for, characters who are bodies with, arms, or, yeah, arms. Bodies with, hands and feet, but no arms and legs. We have this, Tonic Trouble character, evidently Ed, and we also have, Rayman. So, you know, with what I mentioned about how, you know, I wasn't expecting much, this sort of, doesn't meet my low expectations. This manages to be worse. This is some kind of just amazingly terrible. Okay, energy bonus point. Seems like it's a little bit difficult to not take damage from these things. And I'm surprised it didn't give us a pop-up information explanation about the key we picked up. I have to say, I'm kind of curious about the fact that the A button does nothing. Also kind of curious about what all this mess is. Huh. Apparently there's a lot of different collectibles. Also, it doesn't seem to be keeping track of how many... Well, I suppose it would be keeping track, but it's not actually telling the player how many thermometers that they have. Okay, that's a thing. At the very least, we do have different music for this stage, so that's kind of cool. A little bit unexpected. what all these purple cell things I keep picking up are. It seems to be another thing which is not actually kept track of. Also, wait a minute. I guess not. For a second there I couldn't tell. It seemed like it was faster to jump and move than just regular moving. But, yeah, it seems alright. About the same either way. And presumably that little arrow is a checkpoint. Not 100% sure, though. And again, it just seems really difficult to avoid damage in this game. Apparently that's not a collectible of any type. Sure as hell looked like one. Okay, and he just kind of fled. Alrighty then. And over here we have another key. Okay. Kinda curious if we're gonna have a boss battle of some type. I mean, we were shown a boss character, so maybe he's like the boss of the entire game, or maybe we'll be fighting him in a little bit. Very hard to tell with this kind of thing. Also very hard to stay on this stupid platform. While actually not taking all the damage. Okay, so those little green or purple power cell things are in fact health. So that's nice to know. Okay, so apparently that's like a full health restore type thing. Okay, using a popcorn machine to overcome Robot Guardian, who seems to have a tin can for a head. What the hell, game? And, come here. How do I use the popcorn machine? Obviously we want him to stand there. What in the... Okay, this... wow, that sure is a temporary thing. That's... I don't even... What? Why? And there's no sounds to indicate that we're damaging the boss, no animations or anything happening to his sprite to indicate damage being taken. Just sort of taking it on good faith that, you know, this is actually doing something. Okay, there we go. And we've freed the dock. who's apparently asleep standing up. And we're just gonna walk away from him. Okay, I didn't actually mean it literally, game, but apparently that's what you're supposed to do. Why? Yeah, that's the stage we just completed. How do I go somewhere else? Oh, there we go. Also, hey, I can scroll the text back. That's kind of a surprising feature for this kind of thing. Okay, now we can go to the next stage, and apparently we were given a stick. Yep, we now have a stick. One of the worst attack animation sprites I've ever seen. Also, didn't think much of this when we had no anything bound to the A button just before we had this attack, but now that we do, it sticks out quite a bit. The fact that I'm hitting the B button to jump and the A button to attack. Anyone who's, you know, played an NES or a Game Boy game knows that that is backwards. So, with that final complaint about this really lousy game, this has been Tonic Trouble, and if you must play Tonic Trouble, play the N64 one. Leave this one the hell alone.